If I told you I would give you $10,000 right now on the spot, and all you have to do is ask for it, would you ask for it? 100% of you, or even 99% of you would say yes, you would ask for it. Because it's $10,000, who doesn't want it? Unless you're super rich. But it's not really possible in the real world, is it? Well, it is possible. Right now, all around us, people are negotiating and asking for lower prices on cars. They're asking, give me that car for $20,000, or give me a 20% extra raise. And it's because of a simple trick known as negotiation. And today I'm going to go over Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss, the #1 FBI negotiator, and I'll go over the 4 tricks in the book that I discussed that will help you negotiate your next business deal or make your next $10,000. Now let me tell you a quick story of it being in action. So, it started off when I was working my part-time job. So I would work at my part-time job and I would get paid the minimum wage. And me, I was a hard-working person. I worked harder than the rest of the co-workers and all my workers. I was a top-performing worker and I wanted an extra raise. So I asked for it, but I didn't really get the raise because they said no. So then time comes and then my agency that I've been working on during work is using advertising, so I needed the money, and I've been going negative every month, so I've been losing a lot of money, and I kept losing money. So I decided that I needed to find a new way to ask them to get money without being brushed off and get the raise that I needed. So what I ended up doing is I ended up doing a lot of research and I ended up reading negotiation books in order to fully understand human psychology, in order to get negotiation, in order to get a set price for me, in order to get paid more so I can make money. So what I did is I actually read this book. It was one of the factors that helped me play out in order to get my raise. So I used them, and I used 4 techniques in this book that I'm going to discuss in order to give me a raise. And my manager actually agreed to it, and they submitted a raise form to the corporation, which they agreed to, and I got a raise out of it. It was only like $1.56, but that's a lot of money considering that I'm a part-time worker, a minimum wage worker. Now, you can go around and read any negotiation book or any traditional book or even go to negotiation school, but it's not the same as this book. You see, traditional negotiation focuses on the main logical side of the human, focuses on us being logical, focuses on being like terrorist deals, drug dealers, or deals with people who are more logical. But for a normal person, it's actually a lot harder. So this is what this book is for. It's for a normal person. Because us as humans, we're biased, we're irrational, and we're emotional beings. So this book focuses on that psychological side of us in order to influence us to take a certain action, in order to influence us to do a better deal. Because most of the deals are win-win deals that you're aiming for, but the deals in this book you're aiming for is you get all of it. You win all of it type of deals. And you do it by using the psychology that's provided in this book. So now, let's touch on the first trick. Now, the first trick is really simple. It's to be an active listener. Now, a lot of us make the mistake of not listening to what the other person is because we're focused on our own needs. Now, being an active listener really pays off. So, here's the thing. When you're in an argument with someone, when you're talking to someone, you're always thinking about a counter-argument, or your mind's always thinking about something else. But if you attend and be active in the conversation, then they're more likely to reveal more about themselves. Have you ever been in like a conversation before where you're talking to this person and you're so passionate about what you're talking about just for them to end up switching the conversation? Well, that's a bad example of them not being an active listener, because they're switching the conversation to something that they want, so they're not listening to what you want. We've all had that feeling with that one friend in your friend groups where they just switch the conversation from something that you were talking about. So what I really have to do is to be an active listener, is to have to shut off your mind and actually just attend to it. Just attend to what they're doing. And you actually do those by following the next 3 tricks. So now let's touch on to the second trick. So the next trick that'll help you influence them more and be a better negotiator in life is to be a mirror. So what mirroring is you're basically imitating the other person. So if a person is standing like this, and you're talking to that person, and he's standing like this, he has his hands up to the right. I don't know if you see it on the camera, but if he has his hands up to the right, then what you do is you mirror it on the same side and just have your hands up too on the same side. So what it does is mirroring, it automatically builds trust. When you mirror someone, you're actually building trust with them. You see it a lot. We do it unconditionally and unaware of it. We do this mirroring technique. It's a sign that we're bonded. For mirroring to actually work is you have to pay attention. You have to mirror either their tone of body, their tone, their body language, their movements. You have to mirror anything that they do, their non-verbal cues. But if you say, for example, if you're on the phone with someone, what you have to do is you have to mirror their last 3 words if you repeat them, show that you're attending, you being an active listener. And if you do mirror them, you also get them to elaborate more. The more information they reveal, the more power it gives you. So now let's just chant on the next trick that'll help you, which is trick number 3. So the next trick is tactical empathy and labeling. So now tactical empathy is not the same as normal empathy. Now tactical empathy is when you understand the mindset that someone is in. You understand what they're feeling at that moment. It's by putting yourself in their shoes. It's something that you do in order to understand what they're really feeling and how they're doing it. So you can do this is because people are not going to tell you what type of mindset they're in. They're not going to tell you how they're feeling. What you do is you listen to nonverbal cues. You look at nonverbal cues, or you also listen to them. If you listen to his voice or tone, you can tell whether his voice or her voice changes, her tonality changes, or the body language changes from someone who's confident standing up straight, someone who's worried playing with their hands. You can tell. And now once you tell this emotion, what you do is you label that emotion. You point it out. You see someone nervous playing with their hands on the table, they're like moving their hands like this. What you do is you label it. You say one of those 3 words. It seems like, it sounds like, or it looks like. Once you do those, you have to always use those because they're the ones that are assuming. So for someone who's nervous, you say something like, it seems like you're nervous. What that does is it labels their emotions. Once you put that negative emotion that they're feeling into the light, then they start thinking about that emotion. And once they think about their emotion, they start unraveling that emotion, and they start actually processing that emotion and making it go away. The reason we use that assumptions, like it seems like, it sounds like, it looks like, is because if someone says negative, if they deny the fact that we're approaching those emotions, when we say something like, it seems like you're nervous, and they say, no, I'm not nervous, then we can take a step back and be like, okay, I just thought you were because you were playing with your hands. Just something so you can have that security back, so you're not fully disengaged, so they don't fully turn their back on you, if that makes sense. So now let's touch on trick number 4, which is the last one. So trick number 4 is to use open-ended questions. Always use how or what questions. So say, for example, your landlord wants to increase your rent from $2,300 to $2,500 and you don't have the money to pay it. So you approach your landlord and then you use tactical empathy by saying, it seems like you think your land is undervalued by the fair market price. Once you put that out, then you also continue on saying but how am I supposed to pay that if I'm only making enough to pay the $2,300? So now in the point of a calibrate question is to get them to answer your questions, to order to get them to get a solution for you. So the point is for them to get a solution for you. So it's a win-win deal for them. So they're more likely to give you a better deal for it. They're more likely to give you a better price. But if you're not happy with the price they're giving you, if your landlord says like, you know what, you're completely right, let me give you for $2,400 a month. Then you ask that question again. You repeat it, but you reward it this time. You ask it in a different manner. If you keep repeating those questions, then they just start slowly breaking it down to come up with a solution that works for you, that works best for you. Where it seems like it's a win-win for both of you. Once you find an answer that your landlord gives that you're comfortable with, it's an answer that you like, then you can stop asking those questions. But you keep asking them for them to get a solution over and over to come up with those answers for you. If you get them to answer for you, then they're more likely to help you out, because people want to help out other people. It's a common thing. Everyone wants to help out another person because it feels good. Once it feels good, it makes us feel happy about ourselves. And those were the 4 tricks that I actually really liked in this book, Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. If you do want to check out the book, it'll be down in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, then thank you. As always, thank you for watching.